Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a DIY Dollar Tree easy and inexpensive Dunn type of ornament. I'm going to use the 2-pack of ornaments, but I wanted to tell you that you can also do this on the big ornament that they sell at the Dollar Tree. The 2-pack makes it very inexpensive because they're 50 cents an ornament plus the ribbon. I'm going to use these like bathroom cups, any cups really that will hold the ornament. I'll show you. We're just going to use white acrylic craft paint. I like this better than the one at the Dollar Tree because it's a little thinner and runs easier. You're going to need a Sharpie as well as some sort of embellishments. I'm making one with this red check ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and then one I'm going to rip some fabric. But the first thing you want to do is you just want to pop out the little ornament holders. Now these are plastic, which I love. I can't tell you when I was in my early 20s how I used to make ornaments because I had really no money for all of my family members. And so many of them have broken over the years. And I feel so sad because they really were, a labor of love. But then, trees fall and cats climb up and kids are little. And, I just wish if I could rewind time, I would use plastic ornaments if they had them available. I actually filled them with Cheerios for my two nephews' first Christmases. They were both, I guess, 10 months at the time. And I filled them with Cheerios and I sealed them with hot glue and everything. So that was fun. But I don't have them anymore because they broke. So we're just basically, you saw that. And this is only at 2 times speed. This is really a quick project. It's just time consuming to let it drip and dry. Okay, so we're just putting a little squirt of this craft paint. You can get this craft paint for 50 cents for 2 ounces at Walmart. It's just acrylic apple barrel craft paint. We've used it lots of times. And we're just putting a little squirt in here. You don't have to put too much because here's the thing, it's a matter of time. So if you put a little, as you see here, the first one I put a lot, and a lot will drip out. So it does coat it faster, but then it takes longer to drip and dry. If you just put a little bit, it does take a little extra effort to coat it. And as you see, I'm just spinning it. And there's one spot at the very end, you'll see that it just gets a little tough. But it will drip faster and dry faster. So if that makes any sense, you choose. It's also more economical to use less paint, but some people have more money than time and some people have more time than money. So you decide which method is good for you. And once it's all coated, I had like a little spot there, and once a little spot, there it is. Oh, come on. It's just a matter of playing with it. I like to do it over the cup, so in case it does drip out, it goes right into the cup. And we're not going to waste this paint. We're going to pour it back in when we're done tomorrow anyway. But there's the key. I said tomorrow. These do have to wait overnight, which isn't like that's the time consuming portion. But if you really don't have to wait. I mean, you could technically put the cover on right now and start painting it and just risk the fact that, it might be full of paint one day and it'll be a little heavy. But as long as you leave it open to the air, the cover has holes in it, then you won't have to worry about mold or mildew buildup. But anyhow, this, like I said, is the one with the less paint in it, so this is taking a little bit more time. So I just wanted to show you 2 options. Again, there you go. With patience and perseverance, you'll get it. So I'm just going to set them on the cup upside down and set them off to the side. If you use one of the big ornaments, make sure you have a cup with a big enough mouth to hold the thing without falling over as well, with the ornament without falling over as well. So now I've thought maybe I could just go ahead and jump ahead to it, but I decided to let it dry. So I'm cleaning up the edges, and then I'm just going to sit it here until tomorrow. If you get any paint on the outside, it will scratch off when it's dry, but it also wipe off while it's wet a lot. I mean, while it's wet, it wipes off a lot easier as well. And then I didn't take the ornament holders off the package, so I'll do that now and just set them aside for tomorrow. And again, I'm just doing the initial to see how much paint. I really was trying to see how much paint was coming out and the speed to which it was coming out, because that will determine how long it dries. If it comes out, if it just pours out and You only use a little bit. Like I technically could have worked on the little one right away, but this is the next day. Um, that's why the lighting is a little different. And you just want to take a paper towel and wipe off the top. I'm sorry that's a little bit off camera. I don't normally shoot with the camera between me and the project, but I'll show you the second one. If you've never put one of these ornament holders back on, all you do is you squeeze the wire. I think I'm going to show you with the next one. Oh, we're going to save the paint. This was the cup that had this was the bowl, excuse me, that had a lot of paint in it. And here I am making a mess. Ooh, ASMR, anybody? Oh, she spilled. Oh, well. I'm just going to set it off to the side and deal with it later. Yeah, I'm like rigging it up. I'm so weird. You think the paint is so inexpensive? Why don't I just throw the cup in the garbage, Jerry, right? Because I'm so wasteful and cheap. Is that what it is? And here's the other one. And again, it's a little off camera, sorry. But all I'm doing is I'm wiping the top with the paper towel. And then, like I said, if you've never put one of these clips on before, you just squeeze the wires and fit them in. There we go. Squeeze the wires and you fit them right back in the hole and they snap right on. In case you've never done that before. You can glue these closed if you want to, but you don't have to. They really stay in there quite well. And now we're going to redone them. Now, these ornaments, if you go on Pinterest, they have such cute ornaments that you can fill with different colors. There's one whole like page or board dedicated to just to Disney princesses. So they put different colors in there and then they decorate the outside depending on the Disney princess is what I'm trying to say. Now, you guys know that this to me is like the easiest lettering in the entire world. If you've ever seen one of her products, the lettering is not perfect, so you do not have to be perfect. But all it is regular print, really, really long. That's all. Now, I'm going to show you here that I'm actually going to make a mistake, so I could show you guys how to repair the mistake. And I thought it was so dark, I thought putting the other light on would make it better, and it actually made it worse. But we'll fix that here in a second. But I wanted to show you that you could pick a ton of words. Again, if you go on Pinterest, there's words like peace and hope and merry and joy and all of the words Noel, all the words that you see around Christmas time. So what I've done here is I've just taken a little alcohol swab. You guys know I'm a type 2 diabetic, so I have alcohol swabs coming out of my ears. But they're also very inexpensive, and I find them more convenient than having a bottle of rubbing alcohol. But they're a tiny bit more expensive than that, too. Maybe they're not, because you don't waste any. So while the Sharpie is fresh and new, you can go ahead and wipe it off with a rubbing alcohol pad, okay, if you make a mistake. Now, I've just cut 2 pieces off paper towel tube to make stands just for you guys. And you can do that. That'd be cute. It'd be a cute way to display these little ornaments, right? Just cut a little paper towel tube on an angle and maybe wrap it in pretty paper. So now I'm going to make Mary, and I'm just doing 2 straight lines, and I'm showing you that I'm connecting the 2 straight lines with 2 angled lines. Another straight line and a straight line. And another straight line, and an R. Now here my R, as you can hear, my husband has come in and distracted me. So now my second R looks nothing like my first R. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I really jacked that one up. So I'm going to take the alcohol swab and make a new R. Now, if you want to rush the speeding of the alcohol, you don't want to write on that while the alcohol is still wet, but if you want to rush that drying time of the alcohol, you just take a paper towel and you can wipe it off, and that works just as well. Okay, just a bit of paper towel there. And just try to do your best to make them as close as possible. Ooh, light. That's better. Make them as close to looking alike as possible. But again, it doesn't have to be perfect. That's what makes her art so, I won't say inspiring, but I think it's what makes it so personalized, because Each one is individual. Each cup is individual. Each bowl is individual. That's why I like it. So I have this ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I snatched up a bunch of it because I really love it. This was from Valentine's Day, and it's red and white check, but I thought that would be cute for Christmas. And then I bought some fabric from Walmart in black and white check, but one of the inspiration pieces actually had a mini buffalo check. So that's another option as well, if you can find a little black and red gingham somewhere. So for the ribbon, I'm going to show you two different ways to tie on bows. I didn't want to do glue because again, I wanted to make this as kid-friendly as possible. Plus, you can always take the ribbon off in the future if you change out your style. But what I've done is I've taken the ribbon and I've gone through the hole from the back, and then I've wrapped it around the side and gone through the other direction. So it basically, that the hanger is where the ribbon is tied into. And I've made sure I left on the hanger that came with the actual ornament as well. Okay, and I'm just keeping that off to the side while I create a bow. Now, if you've ever made a bow before, there's different ways to do it. The way I like to just do it, like I'm tying my shoes, is I take two of the sides of ribbon. One of them I make sure is a little longer, which actually I forgot to do here, so you're going to see me retie it. And you just make a loop with the one side that's short, and then you wrap the long side around it. And that's what you use to make the second part of the bow. But you'll see then, yeah, then one tail is end up being really long because I didn't do that like I suggested I should have. I love how I teach you guys stuff and I forget to do it myself sometimes. But that's what's so great about crafting. That's what's so great about practice. You know, people are like, how do you do your lettering so good? I just practice. I just practice. This is plastic. That's a Sharpie. Get your rubbing alcohol and go for it. Do one letter at a time. Just be patient. And remember that there's no perfect. I was thinking about this as I was crafting this, that my cousins would come over and they would sell stuff in the store that was personalized, and they'd want to charge 15 or 10 or $15 to get it personalized. And my cousins would come over and ask me to personalize ornaments and stuff, and I totally would. I'd just take my little skinny pen, take my time and practice and clean it up if I couldn't, if I didn't come out right. So now I'm just working it out. So yeah, one is longer. Yay, okay. I don't have nails, so I needed to use my scissor to help me get that knot straight. And this is just like a regular hand over hand. Like I said, like you tie your shoes. You fold one in half and you wrap it around and tuck it underneath and da-da-da-da-da. And now you go back and forth where you pull the tail and then the bow and the tail and the bow until you get it even and you get it the way you like it. And again, I don't have nails today. Actually, my fingertips were kind of hurting me this day. Sometimes that does happen. The neuropathy gets in my fingertips. But anyway, so whatever assistance you can get. And then once you have it on there, as you see here, then I can twist the top to line up with the writing. Okay? So that one's Mary is done. And this was this black and white check that I got from $1.50 a yard. When you guys talk about inexpensive, the ribbon from the Dollar Tree is 9 feet by 1 inch. That's crazy. That's 3 yards long, but only 1 inch wide. This particular fabric is 44 inches wide. So even if it was just 42 inches wide, we're talking about like quick math. Was that seven rolls of that ribbon for $1.50? I mean, you can't really compare the price sometimes. And because this is that farmhouse rustic country feel that Rae Dunn has, the raw edges of the ripped fabric are actually like more appealing, and it's super easy to go rip it with the grain of the thread than it is to try to cut a straight ribbon anyway. But you can see here, you just rip it, and I'm actually going to tie the bow before I cut it, so I make sure that I have enough ribbon. But you remove any of the extra threads, just like we did when we were making all of our rag wreaths and stuff. I just work it out so I have all the extra ribbons and threads off. Now this one I'm going to tie a little differently. I'm show you the other tying option. This one's just going to get tied right around the hanger, the whole metal piece. Because this fabric is a little more giving, it will actually hug onto it a little bit better than it would have, the other one would have. And then we're just going to repeat the process, create a bow. When you make your bow before you cut your fabric, you don't have to worry about which end is longer. You'll just make your bow and make sure you have enough on both sides, and then you can trim it to the length you want. Now I'm going to trim this, and then I'm going to fray the edge, because the edge from the store, the factory edge, I'm guessing, was frayed on the one side, so I wanted to make sure that they match. So I went ahead and after I tied the bow and cut it off, I went ahead and I pulled some of the threads out to make it frayed as well, which is so easy to do. It really is. I'm matching it here, trying to figure out exactly how long I want it. Make sure your bow is nice and tight before you cut it. And I'm just fluffing it out. It's the little things, it's like the little details. It's the little extra things that you do, the touches and stuff, that make it look and seem more, I don't want to say professional, but you see how I took the moment to just open up that bow so it looked like a real, like, heavy duty bow or whatever, like a real, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Do you guys know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, okay. I probably should know what I'm trying to say if I'm actually going to get on this YouTube channel and tell you what I'm saying. But sometimes the words fail me. But you know what I mean. So it makes it look like a little bit more of an expensive piece of material if you just take a moment. And here I am just scraping off some of a drop of paint that I got. Actually, I think it's a fingerprint of paint. And I told you it cleans off real easy. You can just scratch it off the plastic very easily. And then that's it. And we're going to hang it by its store-bought hanger as well. And like I said, if you jump on Pinterest, you can find all different words to inspire you. Any kind of Christmas words. You can actually personalize these for family members as well. So I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to share this video with friends and family. Anybody you know who might be interested in making one of these, both of these, all of these, or don't forget to share it with us on social media. If you do make these, we'd love to see your projects. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe, and when you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, take care. God bless. We'll see you next time. Bye.